report. There are some countries that have exceeded the standard. There are other countries who have met it, but nobody has come in below the criteria. They all had to meet the criteria. And the committee's work is not done by simply certifying those that have Master Chef programs, but by helping countries who have no program at all to establish one and to bring it to the standards that WACS demands, and then we can have that same reciprocal recognition. So again, a promise, it was delivered. So I thank Reinhold and his committee for all the hard work, and again, there will be a report shared with you just a little bit later on. As part of that, I really encourage other countries to hopefully request the assistance of the committee so that they too can have a Master Chef program. Another promise made very early on, we are going to establish a global chef competition. 4 years ago we said that. With all of your help, we had the tryouts on the national level, we had the continental tryouts, and we had 56 countries participating. Out of that, we emerged 7 finalists, and those 7 finalists are here today. And they're here today to participate in the inaugural event at this Congress, specifically on Thursday, and I hope that you all find time. I think it's either here or there, over there I think, where the stages are set up and the kitchens are set up, and look in and see what they're doing. Give them your support. Again, sponsored by Unilever Food Solutions, we were able to subsidize the travel of people that came from these different countries, live up to our promise that says from every one of those countries there will be a judge. So if there's a candidate from the Netherlands, there will be a judge from the Netherlands. Why? We want to be sure that there's an impartial situation, so everybody gets treated the same way. And but we also made the competition different. It isn't just the same old, cook something up and here we go. We require the candidates to have and demonstrate knowledge of wine or beverage in the food pairing aspect. We opened up the judging to the media. We get some media in to give us the perspective of the consumer, which is very important. I mean, we cannot just be talking to ourselves all the time. We have to look beyond that. And we have some very, very attractive prizes and prize monies. Very attractive. So again, the Global Chef was promised, and the Global Chef have been delivered and is being delivered as we speak. Here the participating chefs and judges from the countries of Australia, Cyprus, Netherlands, Norway, Singapore, South Africa, and the US. The candidates as well as the judges. And I would like for those countries just to rise and be recognized, because just being in the finals is a wonderful thing. So please. Thank you for helping us make the Global Chef a reality. And we are already looking at the next round. Timetable for the second round of the Global Chef is that in 2008, this year, there can be the national competitions, 2009 the continental finals, and 2010 the Global Chef Challenge finals in Santiago, Chile. So again, we are moving on. The committee, the culinary committee, will take all the input that it can get from this competition, from the national competitions, from the continental competitions, to fine-tune and to improve whatever needs to be improved. Because don't forget, this is the first round that we had. So consequently, we need to fine-tune things and make it better just for the next round. I also stood up here and talked about an office. I said, we will have an office. And again, it would have been so easy to say, let the next presidium take care of it. And you know what? Then the next presidium says the same thing. And it goes on and on. And that's why things don't get done. The subject was debated to no end. We established a critical need, asked for input and recommendations, looked at all the proposals, received partial sponsorship from, again, Unilever Food Solutions, and the board promised and the board delivered. We now have an office started up in Singapore, and you need to look at it and say, well, what does it mean? And put yourself in the position of the board members. They go out to or I go out to a sponsor and say, we really need your help. We need your help to help us fund a particular initiative. And the sponsor will say, oh, well, that sounds interesting. Why don't we have a meeting at your office? It's my home. The office right now is the home, my personal home. Or they say, with whom on your staff can we coordinate this effort? We have no staff, with me. This is not how business is done. And this is how things fall through the cracks and things do not get developed. We have an experience, a very invaluable experience. In the American Culinary Federation in 1980, we started an office and people said, oh, it's going to ruin the ACF. And we only have a membership of 20,000. And today we have over 30 people employed there, doing all kinds of things to help grow the professional chefs in America. So it's a vehicle for growth. Now there are some benefits, and this is what we hope that ultimately, as the office gets going, that these benefits will show themselves, such as improved communications. We have to keep our records someplace, folks. They cannot go into my home and then ship them to the next president, and before you know, things are lost and we don't know where things are. We can't do that anymore. We need centralized record keeping. We need coordination of the major activities. You know how many just conference calls we had with the Congress committee here? I mean, innumerable calls. Somebody has to set it up. Somebody has to coordinate it. Somebody has to write the minutes. Somebody has to follow up. We all have a job to do. And we don't have time to do all these things. Sponsorship relations. Whenever you are getting funding from a sponsor, you have to be sure that they get the value that they envision, and constant communication is absolutely necessary. They always need to know what is going on with the project that I'm supporting. Is it moving ahead? Is it meeting its goals? The office needs to provide support for all the programs that we are talking about. And it clearly, very clearly, will improve our image. Now we heard in the past that, and there's some interesting discussions that say, well, maybe a smaller country should be able to take on the presidium. That makes sense, why not? With an office in place and the infrastructure in place, we are at that point, or we will be at that point. A smaller country with the support of the office can indeed take on the presidium. Why? Because they no longer have to do all the legwork and all the groundwork. That is being done for them. So there's yet another benefit. And the question was not, can we afford it? The question is, can we afford not to? And the board is in full support, based on our last board meeting Saturday, for the office in Singapore.